reason that the boys on Love Island are having such a hard time with Amaya is because she is a mirror. Under our society, men and boys are not allowed to cry. They are not allowed to be sad. They're really only allowed happiness and anger. And especially with Zach, like my ex-husband is Asian, he's not Thai, but one of the issues I've really had in raising my son is that his grandparents are very old school in their belief system, and they are constantly telling my son he is not allowed to cry. Crying is for girls. So when you raise boys without being able to express themselves fully, you get men like Ace, you get men like Zach, and you get men like Austin. Now, Austin, I think, has a little bit more to do with racism, with the microaggressions, but specifically the reason that they feel like it is a lot is because they don't have they're emotionally stunted when it comes to the expressions that requires any form of tears coming out of their face. Extreme happiness, which, tears of joy, or sadness. You can even see literally Ace looks like he was fighting back tears when Taylor got put up last night. And so the problem is if you're never allowed to express certain emotions, when you come up against those emotions, you don't know how to handle them. You don't know, because you're not allowed to express them. You have no idea what that other person's experience is in that emotion, and it feels foreign and it feels really hard to manage. And so it feels wrong. And that's why with Ace, I feel like it's so jarring. And so it almost feels like it's grating on his nerve to witness Amaya, because I don't think he thinks she's genuine. I think that he thinks she's being manipulative, or she's weaponizing her tears, because in his experience, most likely in his personal life, that form of expression was never allowed. And even though, like with my son and them saying like, oh, boys can't cry, girls can, you always see this being the other side of it. Like, girls can cry, but you will be punished for it. And they say that girls can cry not because they think it is a strength, but because they view it as a weakness. And in the system we exist in, women are viewed as weaker than, and that is why they're allowed to cry, because they're so weak that they can't possibly stop themselves. It's not because they're stronger or because it's a positive trait. It is a negative trait associated with women because they're more emotional, they're more volatile, they get periods. And that's why you see this disdain that Ace has for Amaya. And I don't think, if you sat down with Ace and asked him, I don't think he'd be able to give you a real reason why he doesn't like her. I think it's one of those like knee-jerk reactions. It's the same way, like, for a long part of my own life, in my experience, I had a really hard with loud, flamboyant, expressive people, because I was always told to sit down, be quiet, because I had undiagnosed ADHD. So as I got older, I had to realize that in all of this, every time you get frustrated with a person, it really is a mirror. And it's like, why did those people trigger me so deeply? And it's because I was never allowed to express that way. So there's like a resentment, like underlying resentment, that you might not even realize is there. And that's why the men that seem more emotionally in tune, Pepe, Chris, Brian, that's why those men handle it a little bit differently, because to them it's not viewed as a negative trait or like a moral failing.